you have to say different pathways, same medicine.
Different pathways, same medicine.
Yeah, sorry.
Different pathways, same medicine.
Different pathways.
Same medicine.
Different pathways, same medicine.
Different pathways, same medicine.
Okay, one more time.
Different pathways, same medicine.
Hey guys, it's your girl CBA, aka the Christian Broke Afro, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the welcome. So, in reflection to my last video, if it's not the standard route, I thought I would make a two-part video about the different pathways to medicine. Because getting onto medicine is hard. There's a lot of challenges from grades to interviews, and we can't all do the standard route for one reason or another. But that's okay, because nowadays we are blessed to have more than one route to medicine. But don't be fooled. Any pathway to medicine tests you. But what's the point of tests if you can't turn them into testimonies? So I asked a group of medical students questions about their different pathways to the same destination. And I hope their stories inform you of the different routes to medicine, inspire and or relate to you on your own personal journey to medicine, and provide you with great advice to help you on your way, as well as reduce the stigma attached to different paths. Because yes, the paths are different, but the destination is still the same.
Number one, what was your pathway?
My pathway was standard entry.
So I took a gap year.
College, gap year, foundation year.
I came straight from sixth form.
Transfer course.
Okay, so this is a graduate applying for undergraduate medicine. There is a graduate course which is called or graduate entry medicine, but I went for the undergraduate route.
So my pathway was medicine with a foundation year, but I took a gap year first.
My pathway to medicine was deferred entry through clearing.
So summarise your pathway route.
I got rejected from all the unis that I applied to the first time. So then Leicester was the only uni that I could get anything through clearing, and I managed to get an interview with them. And then after my interview, they basically told me that they'd run out of places for this year, but they could offer me a place for next year. So I had a gap year with a place already confirmed.
So I finished A-levels with A star, A, B. I did it in chemistry, biology, and psychology. Because I got the B in chemistry, that kind of nullified all my conditional offers from med schools that I had previously got. And so what I ended up doing is going to University of Leicester, studying biomedical sciences. They offered the opportunity to transfer after the first year, where we had to get a first, so more than 70% out of the whole course. And then after that, we were eligible to transfer, but we still had to do interviews, UCAT again. We also had to show commitment to medicine through volunteering or work experience. In addition to this, we were also tasked to get references from our personal tutors, as well as somebody from our work experience or volunteering place. So after I did all of that, I was offered an interview. I did the interview, the MMI. Following that, they ended up offering me a place, and now I'm studying medicine.
I didn't get in last year to do medicine, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll try and apply for a different course. But then thought, no, I'm not ready for uni. So just decided to take a year out, reapply, and try better. And then the UK CAT, which is what let me down, and did volunteering on my gap year. Did some work. So I picked my A-levels when I was 16, and then 2 years of college, had to do entrance exams. So I did the UK CAT and the BMAT, personal statement, volunteering, work experience, all those things that make your personal statement really stand out. And then went for my interviews and got the offer, and then studied for exams, and then voila.
I did my AS levels. I didn't do so well. I did really bad actually. I got an E in chemistry. So from then I knew I need to take a gap year. I need to do this all again, to be much more serious about things. Then in my second year, I was able to flip things around and get onto the foundation year course. So that meant that I had to do my gap year and I had to plan around that in order to get onto the foundation year course and stuff. So going through the interview process, doing the UK CAT again, doing more work experience, things like that. So like during my gap year, I did placement at a pharmacy. I did kind of a few clinics here and there. And all in all, it just taught me about the different types of healthcare that there are. There's different needs. You will get a lot of things thrown at you. Some are good, some are emotionally they push you to the edge. So it kind of taught me how to keep on top of things. But so I did the gap year, made it onto the foundation year where I met you, girl.
Yeah.
And then from the foundation year, did the exams, met a whole bunch of great people, and yeah, here today.
I left sixth form and went into biomedical science at the University of Warwick, and did my 3 years there, and then applied for medical school, and now I'm here.
Okay, do you feel like there is a stigma with different pathways to medicine?
Absolutely, without sounding like a Debbie Downer, but there's some people who have come straight from college into medicine, and then there's people who have had to do deferred entry, they've done postgrads, they've done things like that to get in. And some people look at you differently, but at the end of the day, all that matters is you're here now, you're eventually gonna all become doctors. So I don't think there shouldn't be a stigma, but there is, unfortunately.
I do definitely think there are, because I was talking to someone who is in my class this year, and we were having this discussion, and she said that sometimes it feels like people just look her up and down when she's when she says like the type of pathway she chose, which is really unfortunate, because a lot of these people actually don't understand it's hard any other way, especially if you choose different like alternative paths. Like you actually have to be resilient. Me personally, I don't know if I didn't make the grades at A level, I don't know if I would have the resilience to potentially do graduate entry medicine, because graduate entry medicine is hard, or potentially take a gap year or anything like that. I don't know if I'd have the resilience to do that. So each different path is hard for its own reason.
A lot of it is just self-inflicted. I think that people have expectations of how well they should be doing, how successful they should be on certain endeavours, and it puts a lot of pressure on themselves, and it can give certain people certain anxious thoughts, etc.
I feel like there is a stigma because I think when I tell people that I've done a gap year, they assume that it wasn't planned. And there's nothing wrong with taking an unplanned gap year, but mine was planned. I knew from GCSE time that I wanted to take a year off after. So it's more of a year where I can focus on other things instead of school, focus on being independent, focus on knowing how to balance work and life and spend time with my family.
Yeah, I do think there is a bit of a stigma with pathways to medicine. So when I originally got like rejected from everywhere, the most reaction was almost like surprise, because I don't think people realise how difficult it is to get into medicine. One of my strengths is my grades, so people just think you need good grades to get into medicine, but there's way more than that. There's lots of other things that you have to do, obviously, like UK CAT, interview, personal statement, everything else.
I think that there is a preconception about people who study medicine. I have the sense that people automatically assume that if you're going to study medicine, you're some sort of genius that has no social life. And so if you're unable to get there on your first try, it's almost like you thought you could do it, but you actually didn't. And so I feel as if that's why people are almost, not necessarily jealous, but I sense that there is some sort of self-projection going on with the fact that, oh wow, so even if you weren't able to get into medicine through the conventional route of A levels into medicine, you were still able to go through the hoops and manage to find yourself studying medicine. I think there is some sort of envy, maybe jealousy, that people will subconsciously or consciously harbor, and because of that, it can feel as if there is some sort of stigma amongst people who amongst people who actually enter medicine through the unconventional pathway.
Like I was told a lot of times to go apply for grammar schools, because people think that if you go to a grammar school, you've got a better chance of getting in. which is true for certain universities, but there are plenty other universities that this doesn't really apply. My parents, friends, and other teachers and stuff were encouraging me to go to a grammar school, but then I didn't really want to because when I went to the open days and stuff, it just didn't really suit me.
I don't think so anymore. I think maybe there used to be, I know in schools they sort of they used to be don't take a year out or sort of thing, and especially for medicine because you're going straight into it. But I think after especially being here and seeing there's so many different pathways, so many people that are graduates and taken transferred in gap year, most people actually aren't 18 and have come straight here. So I think there is a lot of variation. I don't think there's as much stigma as there used to be.
One piece of advice you'd give to yourself during your lowest time on this journey here?
I think make sure you have a strong support system. Make sure you have mechanisms in place that you can rely on, people you can talk to, and believe in yourself, even if other people don't.
So a piece of advice I would give myself, it would be at different times. So during GCSEs, I'll tell myself that I know where I'm supposed to be. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there, but I need to trust in God and make sure that I do what I can and work with Him to get there because we're a team. And then another piece of advice I'll give myself is when I was doing my UK CAT, that whatever I get, it will get me into medicine. It doesn't matter how, but I will get there.
So my lowest point was obviously when I got rejected from everywhere, because I just kind of thought, what's the point now? But there wasn't really anything else I wanted to do. But I definitely would just say, just keep going, because if you want something bad enough, you'll get it in the end.
I think it's just keep pushing through, really. That's the only thing you really need to do. At the time, the lowest part of my journey was my UK CAT. But it's literally just to cut your losses. Any med school is hard to get into. Any med school is medicine. So if you fumble the bag at some point, cut your losses and find another way to get to where you need to be. You might have your eyes set on a certain medical school and then it doesn't go the specific exact way you want it to go. Don't still apply to that medical school if you know you're not going to get an interview. Cut your losses and then choose to your strengths.
Keep going, because that you get a whole bunch of things that are thrown at you. So there's the academic side of things, so revising, keeping on top of that. But then it's your mental health as well. It's really, really important, and not to neglect it. It's really tempting to neglect it and prioritize your studies.
To accept that it's a process at a much earlier stage. I kind of tortured myself, staying up late and working when I didn't have enough sleep or I wasn't, focusing, and I'd still try to push through simply because of the principles, so to speak. So I would say I would advise myself to realize when I need to have a break. I need to have time to pause and recollect my thoughts so I can come back to the task at hand better and stronger and with a fresh mind.
Persist with the difficulties, persist through the hardship, and know that there's always a possibility for something great to happen at the end.
Thank you for watching. I think the main thing to take from this video is that you just got to keep on believing in yourself and cancel out any negativity. You can do it. If you're Christian, just keep trusting God. You're part of the dream team. So always remember, it's God plus me equals majority. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you got something to say, comment in the comment section below. If you like my catsiness, I'm flattered. So subscribe. And share this video because a prospective medical student needs to know that their route is great too. Stay tuned for part 2. But until next time, peace.